Are you thinking about buying a home? Here are some common mistakes for you to avoid when making a purchase. Hey y'all, I'm Mary Jo. I'm a real estate agent here in Tennessee, and if you're looking to buy or sell in the area, reach out. I'd love to help you. Today I'm going to help you with 7 common mistakes people make when they're purchasing a home. Number 1, not doing enough research. This is a big investment, and you want to know before you buy a home, make sure you thoroughly research the neighborhoods, schools, crime rates, property values, and other relevant factors. If it's important to you, you need to do your research. This can help you avoid buying a home in an area that you're unhappy with. You want to make sure the area meets your needs and isn't likely to decline in value. If you're not from here, you might benefit greatly from making a trip here and driving the neighborhoods that you are thinking about moving to. I know that might seem a little excessive, but if you're here and you drive through the neighborhoods and you do like a morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're available to kind of recheck the neighborhood, is going to make you feel a lot more confident in your buying decision, especially if you're moving from either out of state or somewhere that's not super local to the area, even if you're still in state. Number 2, overextending yourself financially. I cannot stress this one enough. It is so important to not overextend yourself as far as budget goes. It's very important to set a budget and stick to it. Just because you're approved for $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 doesn't mean that you need to spend that much money. You need to look at what your payment is going to be every month and see if that fits comfortably into your budget every month. Just because you can afford the house on paper doesn't mean that you're going to feel comfortable affording the house when you're actually making that mortgage payment every month. I've seen bad financial decisions like this lead to foreclosure, great amounts of stress. And, financial stress can really put a lot of strain on your marriage too, if you're coming into this marriage. And those are all things that can be avoided whenever you stick to your budget. Number 3, it's important to get pre-approved for a mortgage before you ever start house hunting. Now, I personally don't really show people homes until they have a pre-approval. Most sellers these days want a pre-approval anyway. But it kind of defeats the purpose if I'm taking you to these luxury homes and say they're, $500,000-$600,000 and your budget's $400,000, $450,000, or even less. We're only going to waste time if we go look at homes that you can't afford, and it's only going to make you dislike the homes that you can afford because they're not going to have as much square footage. They're not going to have as much yard. It may not be in the exact location you want. It could be close for sure, but if you start out looking at these homes and a much higher price point, of course those homes are going to look great. Who doesn't like to look at, $1 million home on, the side of a mountain somewhere? They're gorgeous homes. However, it's only going to make it that much harder for you to get into a realistic mindset of what you can afford. So definitely get pre-approved first. Number 4, skipping the home inspection. A home inspection is a critical step in the home buying process. Skipping this step can lead to costly surprises down the road, such as hidden structural damage or expensive repairs. Even if you're going into a home that's as is, or you're buying a fixer-upper, you want to make sure you know exactly what you're getting into before you ever make an offer on, that will be part of the contract, of course, but before you ever close on this home, you want to know exactly what you're getting into before you sign the papers, and then you're stuck with this house. Even if you're buying a new build, don't skip the inspection. I never advise anyone to skip the inspection. Just because it's a new build doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect and not have any problems. There's been many people I've talked to who have uncovered things and were unhappy after they closed on this new build because they didn't have a home inspection. Now, of course, with new builds, you're going to have a warranty, but sometimes it's very hard to get those builders to come back and fix everything. Like, they may be cool with like the first thing, or maybe even the first couple of things, but if there are multiple things wrong, you have a year typically to get it fixed. but the more they have to come out and fix, the longer they take to do it. And that's just what I've heard from people who've had to go through this. Number 5, ignoring the resale value. Even if in your mind you're like, I'm going to stay here forever, it doesn't matter, this is the home that I'm going to live in for the rest of my life. Nobody knows that for sure. You know, life has all kinds of surprises, and you honestly don't know. I mean, you very well could be, but it's always best to think about what the resale value is going to be. So if you're looking for a home and you want a good resale, even if you don't have kids in school anymore, or aren't terribly worried about some things such as like yard size or whatever the case may be, you're going to want to make sure that this home is going to have value for somebody else. And you're going to want to know that it's in an area that is growing and will only increase in value. Number 6, focusing solely on aesthetics. Now, I know that this one can be a hard one because you walk in and you see the most beautiful home you've ever seen in your life. It has everything you want. The paint colors are perfect. The counters are perfect. The cabinets are exactly what you want. All of that stuff comes at a price. And if you can shift your mindset a little bit, you could possibly find a house that's cheaper and has great bones, and then you can do some improvements yourself over time. Now, of course, that's not immediate gratification, and I understand a lot of people like immediate gratification. But if you can be a little more discerning and make sure the home has good bones, is in an area that you love, because that's something that you literally can't change. If you love the home, but you don't love the area, you can't change the location of the home, but you can change all kinds of things inside the home. So make sure the home has good bones and meets most of your criteria, because all the other things can be updated later and potentially even to something you like even better than like the new build neighborhood down the street. Number 7, not working with a qualified real estate agent. A good real estate agent can help you navigate the complex process of buying real estate. We negotiate on your behalf, and we also provide valuable advice and guidance through the process. Don't make the mistake of trying to go for it alone. Lots of times someone will find a home that they love and they call the listing agent. That listing agent actually works for the seller. They're not going to have your best interest at all. So when you hire a real estate agent to represent you, we're going to have your best interest, as opposed to the seller's agent, who is obviously going to have the seller's best interest at heart. This is true also for new builds. A lot of people think that, oh, well, it's a new build, there's no negotiating the price. That is true typically. However, the agents at the the little model homes in new build neighborhoods, they only have the best interest of the builders. Whereas we're going to help you go over the contract, explain what everything means, so that you don't feel like you've been bamboozled into something that you really didn't want to buy. All right, that's all I have for now. If you have any more questions, you can reach out. I'll put all my information below, whether it's text, email, call, leave a comment below. Whatever you feel comfortable with, reach out. I'd love to help. And remember, when it comes to buying or selling in Tennessee, I've got your back. So you've got to call, text, email, leave a comment, whatever feels best to you, and I'd love to help you. See y'all next time.